I've got a ton of content for you and not a lot of time, so I'm going to just jump right in here, and I'm going to start by asking a question. And that question is, now don't worry, you don't have to answer this. This is just to get the presentation going and to get our minds in gear here. The question is, when you're thinking about a new collaboration or calling solution, what is most important to you? Maybe it's the endpoints and features. In this case, you want to make sure that you're providing your end users with a solution that's feature rich, maybe the ability to gain some efficiencies, endpoints that are easy to use and intuitive. Maybe it's management. In this scenario, you're looking out for yourself and your team, ensuring that the solution's easy to support and that your everyday moves, adds, and changes are simple, and implementing new features is a breeze as well. Or maybe it's analytics that the solution can provide. As an example for this one, it would be, what can the system tell me about my organization that I don't already know? Some examples of this would be my busiest call hour, or maybe the option on an auto attendant that is selected the most. Or maybe it's the last one here, interoperability with other systems and a strong partner ecosystem. For this one, it's, I want to be able to tie the solution into some applications that I already have, or I want to be able to extend and enhance the feature set of that the solution provides natively. And then, as I show down here, also, security and reliability are a must. They are a requirement for any solution, so please don't entertain the thought of looking at a solution if it is not highly secure and incredibly reliable. Now, some of you might be leaning towards one or two of these. Some other of you may be leaning towards a different set of these, and there may be some of you out there that are thinking, well, I really want all of this. And to those users, I say great job, because really on a modern system, you should not have to compromise in a few areas to gain what you desire in the other areas. So now the next question is, but Joe, is there really a solution out there that can provide all of this? And I'm here to tell you that the answer is yes. Webex Calling can do all of this, Webex Calling by Cisco. And in the short time that I have with you, I'm going to try to prove that, or attempt to prove that Webex Calling can do all of these things and can do them very well. But before I do get started, I always like to show this slide because there may be some in the room that still think of Webex as just a meetings platform. I'm here to tell you that that is no longer the case. It is not just a meetings platform. It's actually a full cloud collaboration suite of products from Cisco. So yes, we do still have meetings, but we also have messaging, calling, and contact center, which is going to be the focus of today, webinars, events, whiteboarding, polling, and video messaging. So let's go ahead and dive in and start talking about how Webex Calling can address each one of these bullets. I'm going to start with the endpoints and features. We're just going to tackle these in order. So admittedly, this slide is a very, very busy slide, but the idea behind this is that this is an enterprise-grade PBX, and it is going to have a feature set that you would come to know and expect from such a solution, plus more. This is just, as you can see here on this slide, a partial list. I could have slide after slide after slide detailing all of the features that this solution provides, but I just don't have time for that. I did highlight some in bold here of some of the ones that I really do like to kind of focus in on. We do have personal call recording for all users, and with that we actually have AI summaries and transcripts as part of that call recording. The hoteling or hot desking, this is the ability for users to log into a phone and allow that phone to become theirs for the day. It reboots, has their extension, shows their voicemail, message waiting, and so on and so forth. A contact center, we do have a contact center built into the solution with agent supervisor experience, skills-based routing, and wrap-up codes. We can do inbound fax to email. We have a tenant console client built into it, and then we obviously have voicemail with visual voicemail, voicemail transcription, and of course voicemail to email capabilities as well. Now for devices, Cisco does create their own devices, and they have a range of devices for just about any scenario that you can think of. Here we have headsets and USB cameras for soft phones. The headsets do work with the desk phones as well. We have desk phones for multiple scenarios, such as a simple lobby or break room phone, going up to more advanced phones for knowledge workers and receptionists with expansion keys. And then we even have the personal video endpoints. We have a couple of these today. Feel free to stick around and play with those. They're at the back of the room there. And conference phones, video-enabled conference rooms, executive boardrooms and training rooms. We even have collaborative whiteboarding with Webex boards. And then we have wireless phones, and we can still support analog devices as well. Now, the big thing about this is Cisco is probably the only major vendor in the space that makes both the hardware and the software, and there are a lot of benefits to that. So think about this from an ecosystem perspective. Those of you who are Apple users, you probably know that your watch is going to work better with your iPhone, and your iPhone's going to work better with your Mac. Yes, they'll work with other devices. I'm not saying that they won't, but you're going to get that experience that Apple, wanted for the end user from start to finish across all those devices, and you're going to have potentially even more features and functionality. It's the same concept here with Cisco making the hardware as well as the back-end PBX. They are in control of that end user experience from start to finish, ensuring that the users are getting the best experience and that it is incredibly easy to use. There's also a support aspect to this as well. So most vendors will only make the PBX software, and then they'll rely on other vendors to make the phones. And if you purchase PBX from vendor A and then phones from vendor B, and you start trying to make those work together, what happens if you start having an issue? I mean, who do you call for support? Do you call the phone system vendor, or do you call the phone vendor? And is there going to be any finger pointing going on that's going to delay the resolution of your issue? So those are just some things to think about there. I'm going to move on. I'd like to spend a little bit of additional time on the latest handsets from Cisco, the 9800 series. We've got the 9841, 51, 61, and 71. I do have a 9841 and a 9861 here with me that will be part of a demo in just a little bit. Let's talk about some of the things that are differentiators for these. Audio intelligence is the first one. You know, Cisco is the leader in background noise removal. Don't take my word for it. There have actually been multiple independent studies on this. And Cisco continues to refine that and bake that into their endpoints. And with the 9841 and 9851, these will do local noise removal, local background noise removal, meaning that the user at the 9841 or 51, if they're in a noisy environment, a lot of background noise, it's going to clear that up for the far end user so that the far end user is having a great audio experience. The 9861 and 71 actually take that even further, because they don't only do just the background noise removal for the local user, they'll do background noise removal for the far end participant. So think of a person on a 9861 who's on a phone call with a user on a cell phone in a noisy environment like a manufacturing facility or just some windshield noise or whatever that might be. Now the 9861 and 9871 are actually clearing up that background noise in both directions, making sure that those users are having, just a superb audio experience. And the 9861 and 9871 also do one other thing. I call this codec upscaling. So I'm going to date myself here for a minute and talk about Blu-ray players. But I like to think of this from a perspective of a Blu-ray player. You used to purchase a Blu-ray player and you'd have DVDs. Well, depending on the Blu-ray player, you could stick that DVD into your Blu-ray and it would upscale that to near Blu-ray quality. That's actually the same concept here with the 9861 and 9871. They can take a narrow band, low quality codec, and they can actually upscale that on the fly to a near HD call. So again, just providing that best calling experience for the users that are using the devices. Another differentiator, we do have the ability to do calendar integration, and we can join different meeting platforms with a single push of a button as the meeting pops up on the phone at the time it's ready to join. So we can do Webex meetings, Microsoft Teams meetings, and Zoom meetings here. And then hot desking, we talked about this earlier, that ability to log into your phone and make it yours. These 9800s take that to another level because they will display a QR code on the screen when it's set up for hot desking that a user can come and just scan with their mobile device that's running the Webex app. It'll cross-launch the Webex app and start the login process for them. And the ARC LEDs is what Cisco calls them. There's LEDs built into these phones that display whether or not that phone is available for login. So green means it's available for login, white means it's not, and then red would signify that there's potentially a voicemail as well. And lastly, for the 9800s, we have the action button. This is huge in K-12, where we have the ability to comply with Alyssa's Law. Alyssa's Law is some new state and federal legislation that's coming down the line that mandates that teachers have a way to do a silent 911 panic button, if you will. Our system can do that natively, but not only that, the action button is completely configurable, and we can do 3 different customized configurations on these buttons. So we can do a single press to start one action, we can do a long press to do another action, and then a triple press to do even yet another action. That's all customizable for you. And with a recent firmware update that Cisco just released about 2 weeks ago, we can even do action stacking. So think of the single press. I can say a single press is going to do this and then this as well. So we have this ability to stack actions as well.